What's up guys, welcome to Get Real Bass Fishing. Today we are doing a video like we do every single year, typically around the end of June, early July. We talk about all the things that we did in the beginning or the first half of this season. And as you can tell, the birds are just as excited about this as I am. So typically we talk about the rods, the reels, the lures, the gear we use, and we do this because a lot of times we're getting new stuff. So for the last couple years, if you guys have been following us, you know that we always get new rods, new brands, new models, new things like that, new reels. We try new line, we try new gear, and around this time we always choose to tell you our experiences. So my experience, we're going to be talking about the St. Croix Legend Tournament Inshores today. I have 4 models. I thought I had all of them in the truck, but the other one's at home, and we've put all 4 of them to good use since I want to say the beginning of March, maybe the middle or end of March, and we've been using them almost every single day. If you check any of the videos that we have uploaded since then, they will either have these rods or the St. Croix Siege Surfs, which we're going to be doing a video on as well, because my Instagram DMs, they're just always asking questions about the Siege. And a lot of you have actually picked them up from the video, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's cool to see the influence that we have, and I love those rods. But let's get into talking about the St. Croix Legend Tournament Inshores. We'll talk about the 4 models that I have, what I use them for, and why I like them. Let's go. All right, so let's talk about this one first. I have this one rigged up already. Typically, a lot of times I like leaving my rods rigged up, but as of lately, I don't leave them rigged up in my truck or at home. I usually take everything off. 1, because I got a baby at home that learned how to crawl and get into the fishing room, but also 2, they seem to tangle up a lot, and that's how you snap a lot of rods inside of your truck. So today, this one is the 7-foot medium power. This is a 3/8 to a 3/4 ounce. I have a Shimano, I believe it's a Nasky 4000. I typically go between the Naskys and the Stratics, and 3000s and 4000s. I have this one with 15-pound braid and a 15 mono leader that I have uni to uni knot. And I'm saying that because you can get the uni to uni knot with 15-pound braid, 15-pound mono through the guides without having to worry about breaking the guide. That's really important because a lot of times we're running 6-foot leaders or maybe even bigger, and you're going through the guides either way. So if you tie uni to uni knots, that's great. If you can tie an FG knot, if you have the time to tie the FG knot, there's a lot of easy ways to do it. Maybe we'll do a video, a short on it. But if you can tie an FG knot, that's a lot better with these St. Croix. All right, so what do I throw a 7-foot medium fast 3/8 to 3/4 St. Croix Legend Tournament Inshore for? So up here in the Northeast, I could be fishing for striped bass. I fish for bluefish. I fish for porgy, fluke, blackfish, sea bass, triggerfish, even some sea robins every now and then. But this is a great all-around inshore rod. It's got a good rating to it with a 3/4 ounce. Right now I have a 1/2 ounce jig head on here. This is a VMC Boxer, and on there is a 6th Sense swim bait, 3.8. I've thrown multiple stuff on here that actually exceeded the rating and went underneath the rating for this specific rod. So I've thrown SP Minnows that are 6-inch. I've thrown SPs 5-inch. I've thrown Magdaughters 5-inch. I typically won't go over anything that has like a size 2 hook. So as long as there's like a size 1 or a 1.0 or something like that, I'll throw that on these inshore rods, but I won't throw anything big and bulky or anything that really exceeds the rating, because like I said, these are sensitive rods, and the last thing you want to do is throw something too big, go to set the hook, and just snap your rod into 3 pieces. I've done it with rods, it's not fun, so try to stay very close to the ratings on all of these rods and all of your rods in general. So this is a 7.3 version of what we just had there. This is a medium fast action 3/8 to 3/4 ounce. A lot of times I'm throwing the same exact stuff as I'm throwing on that rod that I previously showed you, but I might take it a little bit easier and try to stay closer to this actual rating, and maybe stay a little bit on the lower end, because this 7'3" tip, in my opinion, from what I've noticed, is a little bit more sensitive than the 7-foot tip. So when you're throwing something a little bit heavier, you have more of a chance of actually snapping the rod, and you do want to be very, very delicate with throwing these 7.3s in your truck. On here I have a Shimano Stratic 3000, and that also has 15-pound braid. I've noticed that with the 15-pound braid, I can cast a lot farther, which is nothing new, but I usually throw 20-pound braid when I'm throwing bigger lures, but I've noticed I really haven't had a reason to. Chances of snapping 20-pound braid on a sensitive rod like this, even on big fish, it's probably not going to happen. So I throw a lot of 15-pound braid, and I have also noticed that with the 4,000 size reels, I cast a lot farther than the 3,000 size reel. Like I said, nothing new. I mean, that's just, it's got a bigger spool and you can cast out with less resistance. So that's this setup. Again, I try to stay between the ratings on the 7'3", so 1/2 ounce jig heads, 3/8 ounce jig heads, and I try not to go towards that 3/4 ounce jig head with this rod. So let's go to the next one. So if you're throwing big heavy stuff, this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast, which is rated from 1/2 ounce to 1 1/4 ounce. This one I also have a 4000 NASCAR on. This is the older model. Still works great. You oil these bad boys up, you clean them up. The Shimanos will last a lifetime. However, this one is a beast of a rod. You can throw 1 1/4 ounce jig heads, lures, whatever you're throwing, you can throw it on here. With it being a 7-foot, you get a good whip with it, and you don't really have to worry about that tip like that 7'3". This 7-foot is fantastic. Big butt, big handle, big beefy backbone, and this rod can do a lot of things. Whether you're in the back bays bucktailing, throwing a tin, throwing SP minnows, mag darters, all those things this rod can handle. So the way that I have this rod set up, you don't have to set it up this way. You could probably set it up with 15-pound braid and get a lot farther out. This is my close to shore rod. Like I said, 20-pound braid. I can't seem to get a good cast out of this rod and reel. Nothing against the rod, it's just when I have 20-pound braid, it's like rope compared to 15. However, I could be throwing some top water on here with some beefier hooks as opposed to those rods, and like 5-inch tsunami talking poppers. Like I said, anything that has about a 1/0 or size 1 treble hook, you can get away with this. When it comes to the 2/0, it's a little bit more difficult with these 7-foot rods. You might want to step it up to a 7.6 or an 8-foot rod. That way you can get a little bit higher rating and a little bit more power in the rod to actually set the hooks on those big boys. You don't want to, like I said, set the hook on or try to set the hook on a big 2/0 and snap the rod. However, I do believe this rod can do it. It's just when it comes to my 7-foots, I don't like throwing those big 7-inch plugs with those big hooks. So I'm gonna grab this rod because the one that I left at home is very similar to this. It is a 7'3" medium light action rod. By far one of my favorite rods of the 4 that I have. Mainly because as I fish more, I find myself going more finesse. I like finesse fishing. I like finding little pockets and little areas to catch fish. I like light line, light baits and stuff like that. And the medium light is a mad sensitive rod. It's super sensitive, and like I said, with that 7'3" tip, you do want to be careful, especially with those medium lights, because they're a little bit more sensitive up there than these medium fasts. So with the medium light, that's when I'm throwing like 1/8 ounce jigs or 1/8 ounce belly hook weighted swim baits, shrimp, whatever. I've caught a lot of fish on these, and they are fantastic rods. So on that rod, I've thrown, like I said, belly weighted hooks with 2.8-inch swim baits, 3.3-inch swim baits, 3.8s. Sometimes they're weightless hooks, belly weighted hooks with some shrimps, some Salt Strong power prawns. That's more of, like I said, my finesse. So if I'm fishing around bridges or back bays and structure and I can see a bunch of shrimp and bait fish all around, I'm gonna throw those lighter presentations because I'm gonna have lighter line. I'm catching up to 20-pound bass on 12-pound mono leaders, 15-pound test, 10-pound braid with 10-pound leaders, and it's just more of a finesse presentation in my opinion. I'm sure you can try it a little bit more. I forget the exact rating. I want to say it goes up to a 1/4 ounce. Maybe it's an 1/8 ounce to a 1/4. I'll correct it here on the screen if I'm wrong. But with all 4 of these rods, I basically cover all of my fishing. So I can fish the finesse stuff, I can fish the middle presentations, and I can fish the heavy action gear. If I had to choose an all-around single rod, single reel setup out of the 4 that I have, and you've heard the ratings, you've heard what I can use them for, I'd probably have to go with the 7-foot medium fast or the 7.3 medium fast. Like I said, the only thing that's different is the length. This is a 7.3 medium fast. That one that I had over there is a 7-foot medium fast, 3/8 to 3/4 for both of them. If I'd had to come down to a reel, I'd probably stick with the 4000 because it's gonna pull in a little bit more line. It's gonna have better casting distance. So I guess I'd do the 7'3" with the nasty 4000 15-pound braid, and then depending on what I'm doing, I'd either go from 10-pound to 20-pound mono leader. Learn your knots. The uni to uni works. The FG knot works as well. The only thing with that is the FG knot takes a little bit more time to learn, master, and actually perform than the uni to uni. Once you get the uni to uni, it's just pop, 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 cinch and done. And FG is just, you know, you have to make sure everything's nice and in line. You're doing a bunch of little turns. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your comments down below. What would your go-to rod be out of the 4 that I chose? I will link everything I talked about, even the lures, the line, everything down below so that you guys can go ahead and pick it up. We have Amazon affiliates, so it'll help us out, give us a little bit of commission. But when it comes to these rods, as much as I'd love to have a commission, I highly suggest that you either get it from St. Croix's website or go to a local tackle shop, see if they have it. If they don't, ask them to order it for you. The delivery systems, they don't care. They know nothing about fishing rods. They'll bend your boxes in half and you'll just have 3-piece rods every single time. From experience, I know that. They're great rods, highly suggest them. And you've seen all of my videos this year. They've had this or the Siege. But that's the case. I hope you guys enjoyed, learned something, got some knowledge on these Legend Tournament inshores. With all of that being said, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. We have a lot of content on the channel already, and we plan on doing some more videos, gear review like this, because like I said, it's halfway through the year. We've put a lot of new stuff to the test. Why don't let you guys know about it. So thank you guys for watching. Stay real, smooch and release, and have some fun on the water. We'll see you next time.